Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Dave with Jet Pump and Valve. We handle water station and sanitary needs for industrial, commercial, municipality. Give us a call, 248-673-2530, or email us at sales@jetpump.com if you have any questions. Today we're going to be talking about the Sensaphone Sentinel Pro remote monitoring unit. This is the cellular version. First off, to get in, you would have to go to sensaphone.net. Do not go to sensaphone.com. If you do that, you'll go to their main page. But to log in, you do sensaphone.net. So here we are. You would enter in your username, which is usually your email, depending on how you set it up. Then you put your password in. For the next part, I'm going to have to block this out because it's got sensitive information, but you would hit your login. On your next screen, you're going to see a listing of all the units you monitor. Could be one, could be several. We monitor several, so we have to keep that private. So what you would do next is find your unit, which in our case would be the show demo, and you click on the details button. This is going to be your next screen that's going to show. Right now this device is offline because we're not using it, but that's okay for this purpose. We don't have to. But in this instance right here, it'll show you the power, the battery, lithium, and the zones you're going to be monitoring. In our case, we're monitoring 10 different zones. For the first zone we're going to look at is going to be the pump run. This is what we like to call a latching zone. So it's normally open or normally closed, so it's either on or off. This would be a digital signal. Right here is your zone name, which would be pump run. Zone type, normally open or normally closed, is what we were using for this one. The units, open is stopped, C is running. So open means it's not running, and when it would latch closed, it would say it's running. In this instance, we do not want an alarm for this because it's going to be normal operation, so we'd have disabled. Down here we have data log settings. Your mode is continuous, which means it'll just constantly monitor and tell you when it runs and when it's not running. While an alarm would only log if it was running or not. Disabled means you don't want any data at all. Another example of this would be pump 1 fail. This is also an open close. So if the pump would fail, it would be normally open. So OK is open, close is alarm. Right here, the other ones we could be 420 milliamp signal. So let's go to one of those now. For example, wet well level. This here we're going to be monitoring in feet, but right now the current value is 8.6. It's the last time the unit was on, that's what it read. Zone type is 420. With the custom units, you can actually pick PSI, feet, whatever you want to monitor. In this instance, we're going to be using feet. Right here, the calibration is an adjustment. So if there's slightly off of what it's supposed to be reading, you can adjust here. Table low and table high is your basic areas. So like for example, in a transducer, the general range is 0 to 10. So table low would mean your 4 milliamp would be 0. Your table high would be the 20 milliamp, which would be 10. Then down here, alarm below, using that same 0 to 10, you could put 3 here, and then like 8 here. So when it gets below the 3, it'll send an alarm. When it gets to alarm high, it'll send another alarm. So in this case, we have our table low is negative 0.21, table high is 15.8. So we set our alarms here. This alarm, we do want it to be delivered, because in case it goes low or high, this will tell us the status of our station. Down below, alarm delivery settings. Because we do have an alarm, you have recognition time, alarm hold time, return to normal, alarm reset. In this instance, recognition time is normally what we would always use. What this is good for is if you don't want the alarm to go off right away, you want to give it 5 minutes before it actually sends an alarm, such as maybe a power blip, where it just gradually loses power for a second then comes back. You don't want to be alarmed for it. So you could set this up for minutes, hours, seconds, whatever you feel. Alarm hold time we normally don't use too much. Return to normal is if the station does return to normal, say it's high water because it's a wet well level, return to normal would also disable the alarm and reset it. Alarm reset, which means it'll stay an alarm for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever you want to do if you enable this. And then it'll automatically reset, and then if the station's still an alarm, it'll alarm again. Once again, data logging, same thing. Continuous means it's always logging what's going on, whatever the level is, while an alarm is only when it's an alarm, and disable means it's not data logging at all. Other things you can do, let's go up here. This does have a battery. We'll tell you the current value of the battery, so a backup battery, if you lose power, you'll be able to look at what's going on. We'll go back to up here. Default alarm delivery. For example, this is our default alarm delivery for the demo unit we have, or our show unit. You would put in the username. You can get a call or text right here. Email as well. You can add a destination. You can delete a tier. This will also be the same people that would have access to the unit. Or you can also put people in here that only get alarms, so you don't have to give everyone access to the unit. The other side we have is device logs. Now this is where you would be able to look at different logs, such as alarms going off, when did it go off, who acknowledged an alarm. If you want to get, like, you can export your data here. This would be able to see, like, how many times did the pump run, did it fail at all, anything like that. If you have to export it, it's into an Excel file, and you could actually use that for data storing or whatever you need it for. Let's see if I can get something to work here. There's no data display for this one, but this is an example of what the log would look like. It would have your points of entry. If it's a on-off, it would be on or off, so 1 or 0. And then also if it was a 420 milliamp, it would show you different levels. This is where you can set up more precise timing, such as you want log times to be every 10 seconds, 5 minutes, whatever you want it to do, you could do it here. Alarm log. If you've had an alarm, you want to know when it happened or when it started, this would be your alarm log. You can pick a date range, what zone you want to look at, hit view log, and it'll tell you when the alarm started, also when it was acknowledged. Once again, like I said before, export data, same thing. Get your date range you want, select your zone, and you can do a data log, which is basically you want to know everything that's happening at that time, or just want the alarms. Max records, you can pick how many records you want to do. We normally just stay with all. File format, you can do CSV or PDF. We normally would do PDF, it's just a lot easier that way. We'll go back to device details. Once again, this is back to the device details, where you can do all kinds of stuff with this for your water station. Once again, if you have any questions about Sensaphone, please give us a call at 248-673-2530. Our emails at sales@jetpump.com, and we service all of Michigan. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good day.